Many years ago, in a beautiful land far away, God chose a man named Jonah for a very special purpose. God gave Jonah a special mission. He was asked to go to the great city of Nineveh and share a message of hope, forgiveness, and change. Jonah knew the mission God had given him was important. But as he thought about the journey ahead, fear and uncertainty began to grow inside his heart. Even though Jonah knew God's plan was good, fear filled his heart. Instead of trusting God, Jonah began to look for a way to escape. Jonah chose to run from the mission God had given him. He believed he could escape, but God was still watching over him with love and patience. Jonah traveled to the harbor, hoping to find a ship that would carry him far away. He thought leaving the land behind would help him escape from God's plan. Jonah stepped onto the ship, believing that he could travel far away and leave his mission behind.
Jonah sailed away from the land he knew, hoping that distance would help him forget his mission.
For a while, Jonah's journey seemed peaceful. The calm waters and quiet moments made him believe everything was going according to his plan. The calm journey did not last forever. A powerful storm was approaching, and the peaceful sea was about to become dangerous. But suddenly, everything changed. A mighty storm swept across the sea. The sailors fought with all their strength to save the ship. They worked together against the fierce wind and crashing waves.
The frightened sailors searched for the reason behind the terrible storm. As they looked around in fear,
With a heavy heart, Jonah knew he could hide the truth no longer. He realized that his disobedience had brought danger to everyone on the ship. Jonah accepted responsibility for his choice. He knew the only way to save everyone on the ship was to place his own life into God's hands. With heavy hearts, the sailors lowered Jonah into the sea. The moment he disappeared beneath the waves, everything began to change. The moment Jonah entered the sea, the storm stopped. The wind became still, the waves grew calm, and everyone witnessed the power of God. As Jonah drifted into the deep sea, he placed his trust completely in God. But God had a rescue ready. A great fish came from the deep and gently carried Jonah to safety, showing that God's care never failed. Safe inside the great fish, Jonah prayed with all his heart. He thanked God for his mercy and trusted him completely once again. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah remained inside the great fish. As time passed, his heart was filled. God brought Jonah safely back to dry land. Filled with gratitude, Jonah knew it was time to obey the mission God had given him. Jonah chose to obey God at last. With courage and faith, he began the journey to Nineveh, ready to share God's message. The people of Nineveh listened carefully. They turned away from their wrongdoing, humbled themselves, and asked God for mercy. Jonah learned that God's mercy is greater than our fears. When we trust and obey Him, His love can change hearts.
Imagine. Create. Inspire.